हेलो स्टूडेंट्स। हम डिस्कस कर रहे थे रस्ट ऑफ वीट के बारे में, जिसमें पार्ट 1 और पार्ट 2 में हमने डिस्कस किया इसके कॉजल ऑर्गेनिज्म के बारे में, क्या सिम्टम्स प्रोड्यूस करता है रस्ट ऑफ वीट, और कौन से होस्ट होते हैं, अलग अलग तरह के होस्ट होते हैं, और अलग अलग तरह की जो रस्ट कॉज करते हैं। फिर हमने इसके डिजीज़ साइकिल के बारे में हमने डिस्कस किया था, और इसके पार्ट 3 में हम डिस्कस करेंगे एनुअल रिकरेंस ऑफ वीट रस्ट। Now, most of our present knowledge of the cereal rust in India is entirely due to researches done by late Dr. K.C. Mehta at Agra College during the period of 1923 to 1940. जितना भी हम वीट रस्ट के बारे में आज जानते हैं वो हमें कहाँ से नॉलेज मिलती है? दैट इज़ बाय द स्टडीज़ या रिसर्चेज जो की थी वो थी किसके द्वारा? डॉक्टर के.सी. मेहता के द्वारा एट आगरा कॉलेज आगरा. ही इज़ क्रेडिटेड फॉर दिस contributions towards the source of oversummering या perenniation of these rust, the ineffective role of Barbary, and the presence of physiological races of rust fungi in this country. It was shown by him in 1940 that Barbary plays no role in annual recurrence of the wheat rust. Rust occur as many physiological races, and that rust oversummers as uridonospores on stray and self-sown wheat and other grasses. The wheat crop on the hills gets infected earlier than in the plains. Infection of crop in the foothills also occurs earlier than in the plains. It was thus shown by Mehta and other workers that the rust survive on stray and self-sown weeds as well as on grasses on the hills in their uridinal stage, which constituted the chief source of primary inoculum for the plains. To observe the survival of rust on hills, research stations were established at different elevations at Almora, Simla, Narkunda, and other places. It was found that yellow rust oversummers at about 6,000 feet, and on hills it appears on new crops as early as November-December, at the foothills during January-February, and then in plains a few days later. Brown rust oversummers at 5,400 to 7,600 feet. Black rust oversummers at 3,000 feet in the North Himalayan hills. In the plains of India as well as in North Himalayan hills, wheat is sown in the months of October-November, except in Lahul Valley in the Himalayas, where it is grown as a summer crop during June to October. The crop in plains is harvested earlier, March-April, than in the hills, where it is harvested in May to June. The summer temperature of plains does not permit the survival of uridonospores as well as teleospores. The only possibility, therefore, is that the inoculum survives as uridonospores on self-sown wheat, ratoon tillers in mountainous regions of Himalayas in the north and in the Nilgiri and Palani hills in south, where temperature during summer is favorable for rust uridospores. Barbaris, the alternate host for black and brown rust respectively, are thus non-functional. In the Indo-Gangetic plains, during the warm post-harvest summer months, the rust pathogens are eliminated due to high temperature. There is no local infection left in the Indo-Gangetic plain to cause fresh infections during the succeeding wheat season. The pathogens retreat back to the Himalayas during May to November period, when summer crops of wheat and green bridges are available. The Nilgiri and Palani hills of southern India, where wheat is available round the year above 2,200 meter altitudes, serve as a source area for the disease in the southern and the central Indian crops. Till recently, it was believed that the primary inoculum for black rust comes from the north as well as south. However, it was observed that as a result of data collected by a team of All India Coordinated Scheme on Wheat Research, that black rust appears in south much earlier than north, and that chances of major portion of the inoculum of black rust coming from northern hills are few. The Himalayas are believed to play a very minor role in the recurrence of epidemics for northern India. Thus, major portion of inoculum for plains actually moves from south to the north, and that certain regions of central India may serve as reservoirs of inoculum from where it is spread to all the areas of main wheat belt in northern part of India. Inoculum that is available in the South Indian hills is carried further north by tropical cyclones, and it is deposited along with the rains over 1 month old central Indian wheat crops. Now, what's the role of cyclones in carrying rust infection? Cyclonic storms from the Bay of Bengal in October and November, which bring in heavy rain in coastal districts of Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, and Odisha every year, also carry from the southern hills to the central plains of the country infection for two rust, brown and black rust. Rust spores from the Nilgiri and Palni hills in south are lifted by convection currents to a height of about 10,000 feet, transported by wind and deposited by rain in central Indian wheat fields just about the time of the crop is sown. The spread of stem rust from central India to other parts of North India is favored by the repeated passage of western disturbances linking both areas. The associated winter rainfalls permits nationwide appearance and build-up of stem rust. A set of three weather situations that favor a northerly movement of the stem rust iridospore has been identified as the Indian stem rust rules. The spread of brown rust from the southern to central India is identified with that of stem rust, and the appearance of this rust can also be predicted on the basis of Indian stem rust rules. Now, we talk about the control measures or the disease management. The complex environmental relations of the rust, their rapid dissemination, and the rate of evolution of new physiological races make the management of rust disease very difficult task for the growers. Although attempts have been made to reduce the extent of disease incidence through eradication of alternate and collateral host, alternation in manuring practices, and the use of chemicals, these proved of secondary importance, and breeding for disease resistant wheat varieties appears the only effective means of rust management. Eradication of the alternate host is partly useful in control of the disease. However, in Indian conditions, none of the wheat rust depend on the alternate host for survival. In chemical control, sulfur fungicide have been in frequent use since 1900, but this proved very expensive. A range of chemical protectants as well as eradicants have been tested and recommended for the disease control. These include various diethanes and other dichlorocarbamates like diethane, D14, diethane M45, Zineb, Mancozeb, Maneb, etc. Systemic fungicides are better protectants than the eradicants. Some like Vitavex and Plantvex have been used for seed treatment as well as for foliar sprays. Some recently introduced ones are the triazole fungicides like tridimiferon, triarimol, and phinapanel, which are the best eradicants. The need for the rust resistant varieties of wheat in India was realized in the first decade for this century, and sincere efforts were begun in Maharashtra, Kanpur, and Pusa, Bihar. Though not much success could be achieved, some variants showed tolerance to the rust. However, development of new physiological races always created a problem in such an endeavor. Rust resistant varieties could be developed in UP, MP, Maharashtra, and elsewhere. Varieties like S227, S307, 308, 331, Lerma Rojo, and Sonara 63 and 64 showed resistant to most traces of 3 rust. Other resistant varieties are HT 2278, HW741, WT 614 for stem rust, and WL 359, C306 for leaf and stripe rust. However, due to intensive cultivation of a given variety over large areas, the resistance breaks down, and most widely cultivated varieties are to be discarded and replaced by the new ones. In 2009, scientists at University of Zurich, Switzerland, CSIRO in Australia, and CIMMYT in Mexico have located a gene LR34 in wheat plants that is very effective. It increases the resistance of leaf rust as well as stripe rust of wheat. The gene in wheat plants acts against leaf rust by inducing aging of the infected leaves. It encodes a protein that transports chemicals to the infection site, causing the leaf to age and impede fungal growth. So, these were some of the measures by which we can manage the disease, or which can some of the method by which we can control somehow to this disease.